All right, everybody, welcome to the Ridgeline Hunting podcast. I am your host, David Crane, and I am speaking with Mike Peterson. He's co-host this afternoon, and yeah, my hiking buddy for this episode. So we're gonna dive into like what our plans are for rifle season, which is kind of talking about our scouting trip that we attempted to do.
Attempted, yeah. Attempted is a good word for it.
Yeah. So we set out some time in our busy schedules. I mean, you know, life is what it is when you're an adult. It kind of sucks, to be plain. Mm-hmm. But we set out some time. We were going to go on a scouting trip, which we went on the scouting trip.
Yeah.
It just didn't
turn into a hike.
Yeah, it didn't pan out how we wanted it to. So this coming season for 2024, we plan on doing high buck. Yep. The season starts in September. It actually starts right in the middle or towards the tail end of our archery elk season.
Yeah.
So we're gonna probably hunt the first part of the season, and then we're gonna do high buck, and hopefully get into some deer is the plan, obviously.
And you're gonna, I don't know if you want to, but you can help me with my multi-season, because I drew multi-season deer. So you can help me on those off seasons that you can't do.
Yeah, so
you can still bring it for your rifle to shoot like bear or
cougars,
just cougers or coyotes, whatever you see that's you're not supposed to shoot.
Not deer. Yeah. So it will basically, if you wanted to go out archery season, we kind of have a plan for archery. I'm going to be putting up a tree stand in our secret squirrel spot, and there's some nice bucks walking through there. So obviously if Mike tags out during the archery season, maybe he'll just be a cameraman for me then.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully Mike will want to do that. It is a daunting task. I've been cameraman a lot and usually solo, but it's always good to have someone with you, you know, just someone out there in the woods with you, just having a good time and shooting the shiz while there's nothing really going on. But yeah, going into this hike, we basically picked an area for high buck, and we kind of went through Onyx Maps together, and we Google mapped some areas where we were like, okay, well, we think we can get into this area through this trailhead. Let's go ahead and try this. Well, there isn't a whole lot of information out there on high buck.
No, not in this state at least.
I want to say it's difficult, but it's not really. I'm going to make a phone call to Fish and Game. I just need to talk to an officer and just say, hey, where's the actual boundary lines? Because it's called high buck. It is like I guess a higher elevation than like a normal hunt, but you're not designated to say you have to be over 5,000 feet. There isn't anything stating.
For me, I think it's like, the way I was reading it, high buck is certain areas in the state that you normally don't hunt deer. Like you can't hunt deer, but you can hunt high buck. It's like designated for that like type of hunt.
Well, it's just early. So you could go in there during the regular rifle season.
But it's
just early.
It's not like you can't do high buck in a regular deer area. You have to do it in that specific area. So that's how I was reading it. At least. Yeah. So there's 3 or 4 spots in the state of Washington that they are designating for high buck, and those are the only real spots that you can hunt them during the month of the tail end of September. So it's the 15th through the 25th. I could be wrong on the dates. You can fact check me on that and just put it in the comments, because I'm just going off the top of the dome here. And it's usually never right, but got that smooth brain.
It's somewhere within those dates. But so we pick an area where we're kind of just marking spots on Onyx. We have no idea what to expect, just because This was late June that we went into middle of June. Was it?
It was late June.
Was it? Yeah.
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
So late. It was late June. June 20 something.
It was like mid-June, mid to late. Well, somewhere around here.
Yeah, whatever. We were not expecting there to be as much snow as there was. I was expecting patches of snow, but not as much snow.
I was expecting patches.
Right. And so we hit this trailhead. We have this area that we want to get to, but as we're hiking in with fairly heavy packs, I mean, we're going in like we would be going into a high buck hunt. So we basically had our packs
we're
fully loaded.
Camp.
Yeah, so
we're definitely planning to camp.
We were planning on camping, and I actually went in super heavy, and it was more or less just a test of what I could bring in on this high buck hunt. So I was probably 10 to 15 pounds heavier than Mike's pack. We didn't really weigh him, but I'm just going off of what I brought, and what I brought was fairly heavy. I mean, I had a 0 degree bag, a 3-person teepee tent with a floor. It's not just like a regular shelter, so that alone is like 4 pounds. All the water. We only had food for the weekend, so the food was probably a few pounds shorter than normal, but
yeah, the food was like, what was it, for one night and maybe during the day?
Yeah, I think I brought enough food for 3 days just because
I did too.
I like to eat. But like I said, I went in super heavy, and it was more or less just a test of what my body can handle, and I need to work on kind of lightening up my pack, because we'll get into what happened. But my body was hurting. So we head into this trailhead. We don't know what to expect. We start heading in, and really it's just a beautiful area.
Yeah, the bottom part was really nice.
We started seeing deer like right off the bat as we're driving in.
Yeah, driving through all the camping areas.
Yeah.
We saw like what, more than 5.
Yeah, and a couple of them were bucks.
We saw 3. Then I think I saw like 2 more, and you probably saw a little bit more.
Yep. It was actually really cool just going in, and we're just kind of like, oh man, we're already seeing deer.
We see some turkeys too.
Saw some turkeys. Yep, we saw some turkeys, which was like, I was just like, whoa, there's turkeys out here.
Yeah,
like what the heck?
Little gobblers.
So yeah, we get everything on, we jump out of the truck, and we start heading in, and we already started noticing, not even that far in, that this trail is covered with hikers.
Yeah.
A couple of times we took breaks, and people are passing us, and a lot of them are just like, hey, what are you guys doing in here? Because a couple of our pieces were camo, and they're just like, oh, what are you guys doing in here, and blah blah blah, and we're trying to get a feel
where
of
you're going today and stuff like that. It's mainly like where we were going or where we're going to camp at, kind of thing.
Yeah. So as we're going in, there was a couple destinations that I wanted to hit just to take a look to see if it would be like a good glassing area. And before we even got to our designated like pins, we were already in snow.
Oh yeah, way in snow. Like right at our first snack area, I would say, was that lake. I can't remember the lake's names. I never.
We're not gonna say where it is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say. But the first lake, and then like slightly after that, it was snowy. It started getting patches of snow, and then as we got up higher, it's just straight white.
Yep, and we didn't expect that, so we didn't even actually start using our walking sticks, or sissy sticks is what we call them. We didn't even take those out yet.
It was before the lake. We did. Yeah, when it started, we started seeing more little patches of snow. We're like, let's just try that, because we were kind of feeling it.
Yeah, we were already feeling it, and we weren't even to checkpoint 1.
Yeah.
We weren't even to checkpoint 1, and we were already feeling it. So if nobody has really hiked in snow before, without snowshoes or anything like ready for snow, it's like someone grabbing onto the bottom of your foot on each step. So trying to walk, or here, it's like walking in sand uphill.
Yeah, but the sand is grabbing you. Instead of just sinking down, you sink down and then it grabs you on the way up. Yeah, and then it
grabs your foot on the way back up. So imagine that with, let's say, an average of a 40-pound pack, because I think yours was probably 30-something.
It was like 35-ish, 32.
I think I was right around 48, which I need to get that around 38. But, so imagine those packs, and we're already like a couple miles in. So I would say 80% of our hike was in snow.
Yeah, we were so sick of snow.
If you guys haven't been watching us on YouTube, please go to that. I put up a short, and it's called "Just Bring the Glasses," because my eyeballs, I think, were sunburnt from the snow.
Yeah, I couldn't. That night that we got back, I had a hard time freaking falling asleep, because when I like closed my eyes, it felt like
bright.
It wasn't bright. It felt like my eyes were burning, so my eyes kept watering.
Oh man, so mine was like, so Mike actually has these really nice studio lights up. I would close my eyes and it looked like that.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my gosh.
Mine just wouldn't stop like watering, so I had to like slightly close my eyes and it just watered and I just fell asleep.
It was seriously torture. It was seriously torture.
Yeah, I got like sunburn on my cheeks and stuff because of the reflection off of the snow.
Yep. So we hit that first lake, we had a snack, and we're heading up to our second point, which we know at this point. So even before we got to that lake, I turned to Mike and I was just like, hey man, we're not going to see anything up here.
Yeah, this just turned into a hike/camp.
Yeah, so we're like, all right, well, the scouting aspect of this is gone.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to see anything because they're probably just going to be like right at like the snow level or just below the snow level for the most point.
Or at the camp areas like we saw
down at the bottom. Yeah.
We did see one coming down though.
Yeah, and that was probably
barely. It was in between the snow and where we started at. It was like in between it.
Yeah, which would probably be like 200 feet. Like elevation wise from the snow and from like the bottom. So they were kind of like right in between that. We did see some deer on the way back, which was cool. But also we didn't really know, like, is that a hunting area?
Yeah, it was like
only because me being me, I didn't download the maps before to where but I could see where we were on the map.
I have the pro system.
Yeah, I have the Onyx Maps Elite, and it seems like even if you don't have service and you didn't delete the maps, you can still bring up the maps and they're pretty clear. It's just I couldn't search the area, and then it would show us like the lines.
Yeah.
Coming back, at least from my research, it looks like even the camp that we parked at is a part of that high buck area. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Call an officer and make sure that area is okay for us to hunt, so we don't have to
we can just go up the trail and just veer off.
Yeah, veer off and start hunting instead of trying to go 8,000 feet.
Ooh, that was brutal. Yeah, going up that brutal.
So our second destination was one of the highest points besides being on the mountains or the peaks. So we get up to this area and we're like, man, that area down there looks awesome, and it's a lake, but it's down in a hole that just looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Number one, it just looked really cool. So we're like, all right, well, let's work our way down there and try to figure it out. And as we're working our way down, all of a sudden, because it's a south-facing slope, the snow is gone.
Yeah. For
about 200 feet. So we walk down this trail. We get about 200 feet in, and boom, we're in 5 feet of snow again.
And it was like, it wasn't like gradual snow, it was like steep snow. Like you did a little slide.
So I was actually just trying to slide just a couple feet, and I ended up sliding down probably like 30 or 40 yards, and I was cooking. Like I was trying to stop and couldn't, smash into a tree, stop me. That was cool. And then Mike pretty much did the same thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing, and I stopped halfway down, but what stopped me was one of my poles got stuck in the snow.
Oh.
And I busted one of my poles. So I was down to one pole.
That was on the table the other night. Is it still over there?
Yeah, it's still over there.
So Mike needs to go and get a new set of sissy sticks. But yeah, that thing snapped right in half, and I'm just like, oh crap. And then I'm also just like, all right, we've only gone maybe 100 feet down, maybe a little bit more, and I was just like, this is just nothing but snow, and I'm looking at my maps, and I'm like, we have to go another 1,400 feet.
Yeah, we had to go
down,
deep down into that.
So I was just like, we're turning around. There's no way. I was like, we can go to the bottom of here and camp if you want, but we have to hike out, number one.
Yeah.
Number two was, let's say we do high buck, we'd have to hike an animal out, which seriously, I think we're probably might end up in that area, just high.
Yeah, just above it.
Yeah, to where we're gonna glass down on the deer, make our move, and put the sniper move on them.
Yeah.
And get the heck out of there. Hopefully, during that time, the snow is not at the level that it was, because that was.
If it's up at that level, I'm not.
We're going back down.
Yeah,
the hike itself, though. The hike itself was extremely fun, and it was just like a testament of both of us.
Yeah.
On like how strong mentally we had to be to keep on pushing, because to be honest with you, at snack time at the very first lake, I was smoked.
Yeah, I was a little tired.
I was smoked because even getting to that area, I mean, I fell into a couple holes like up to my waist, destroyed my shin from like.
Oh, the shin was after that. It was right after we started going.
After the lake?
Yeah, after the lake.
Oh, yeah, no, it was, because you could still see it off to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so after snack time, boom, shin from like the top of my boot tongue all the way up to my knee was just scraped off.
Yeah.
It was toasted.
And you had a little bit of bad luck going down too.
Yeah,
you kept getting those holes.
I kept finding the holes. I'm like, Mike, there's a hole here. Don't walk there. Don't walk over here. Hyperextended my knee a couple times.
Yeah.
And I was just like, man, this is for the birds.
I know. And going from the first, where we climbed back up, we were going to go to another lake.
Yes.
That was up there.
Yes.
And that everybody was going to that we passed. They wanted to go to that lake. So we thought a bunch of people were going to be camping there.
Yeah. So we diverted out of the hole that we got in. And we're just like, let's just continue on this trail and head to this other lake where everybody seemed like they were going to.
Yeah.
Everybody that passed us, and I'm talking probably 40 hikers went past us. There was two big groups, and then there was a couple that went by us that were really nice. They were really cool. And we get to this other area, which was actually fairly difficult because there was a couple boulder fields that we had to go through. There's some like avalanche chutes that was just like,
yeah, if you
just
slip,
pebble
you'll be
rocks,
freaking flying down.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you either. You're just going down. So, each step was critical.
Yeah, we were going nice and slow. Yep,
super slow. Well, to the pond or to the lake or whatever the hell that thing was, to the skating rink. We were going, and we get there, and it's just like, it's a beautiful area. I actually brought my fishing pole. Didn't fish at all, and we get to this place, and it's just snow covered. You couldn't even tell that there was like a lake there.
Yeah, just like a little bit of water and stuff. Barely tell where the shore and or.
Yeah, it was. So we're just like, mother effer. So we're like, hey, you know what? Let's break down and build camp right here. But before we're even getting the backpacks on, I'm looking around, just looking, and I'm like, so Mike, where are we gonna drop camp?
Yeah, because both of our tents need to be secured
Staked.
down and staked.
Yeah.
Because I had a one-person trekking pole tent.
And I had a 3-person trek and pole tent, and you need to like make sure everything's really tethered in really nice, just in case wind, right?
Yeah.
And we're up on top of a mountain, or a mountain range, and the wind's going to come in there no matter what. I mean, there's nothing stopping the wind. There's hardly any trees.
This was like, what, 420-ish?
Yeah.
430 that we were up there?
Yeah, it was, after 4 o'clock, and we're at this moment of we need to either camp or we need to get the heck out of here.
Yeah.
And we planned on camping. Like, that was the whole idea of us even going up there. I was going to fish. We're going to have a good time. And we get up there, and we're kind of realizing that we can't really stake anything down because the snow, the stakes won't stay in.
Yeah, they'll just...
So then I was like, all right, well, let's try to find some rocks. We're in like 7 feet of snow at this point.
No, it was all snow. It was white.
Yeah, there's
with
no
a trail of footsteps going to, because everybody was going up to a different mountain area.
Yeah, so we found one set of hikers, but they were actually underneath the one tree that had the base. You could actually see the base of the ground, and they're in kind of like this weird hole.
Yeah.
There was no way that we were going to actually be able to get in there and do anything at all.
So we called it.
Yep. So I'm looking at Mike. He's looking at me. We're both at this point just kind of defeated.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, F. But Mike was also like, well, man, we can just go down to that first lake and camp there.
Yeah. So
I was like, you know what? Let's go and check it out. But if we're gonna head down, we might as well head out. But let's go back. So we're on our trek back, and man, we're scooting.
Yeah. We had a little fun though. On this one hill that when we were coming up to, we saw that somebody hiked up, but then on the way back, we saw somebody slid down, so.
You have to enjoy the fun.
I know, we slid down. It was like a snow slide, just sliding down.
Yeah, there was like this little butt trail. It was basically everybody just slid down, so I was like, what the heck, man? Let's go.
Oh, yeah, you still have to send me that video that you took of me sliding down.
Oh, yeah, it's on YouTube now. But I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a great time. It was a great time. We got to see a new area we've never been to before.
Yeah. Never wanted to see snow again.
Yeah, and to be honest, we're going to run out of time, but I think we might actually be going back up there for bear.
Yeah.
So we might be able to see a little bit more of the country when there's no snow, because it's going to be during August. The week that we're in right now is 80 plus. So
next week I was supposed to hit 90 for a couple days.
So the snow will be melting. I don't expect it to be as crazy as it was, but you really don't know until you get out there. But we do kind of have a game plan to avoid where we went, but still have some elevation in some areas where we think we might run into some animals. So the plan is to go back. We're going to try it out again, but man, was that a testament of strength and will and just not giving up.
Especially at the end.
So we
doing the long switchbacks.
So we didn't camp. We got
somebody was at that area too, so we kind of would be like camping behind them.
Yeah, so the area of the lake where you can actually like pitch a tent, like the only spot where there isn't like giant snow patches, someone was already there. We could have camped right next to them. I mean, it was probably 20 feet-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, but I don't know. Mike and I are kind of the same. When we want to go out camping, we don't, or at least out in the woods, we don't really want to be right next to somebody.
I want to see a neighbor.
Right. We kind of go out into the backcountry and all that stuff to get away from people.
Yeah.
And just have our own space and doing our own thing. Kind of hard to do that if you're like going to camp right on top of somebody. So
yeah, and they probably don't really appreciate it. Somebody just showing up.
Yeah. Hey guys, we're just here to set up camp. You don't mind, right?
I know.
Like, wait, what?
That's how it was.
Yeah. So we packed up and took off, and yeah. So the trail going up is lots of switchbacks, and you can actually just see the next trail. So we
a few times we just skipped.
We just went straight down and straight down and straight down, and man. There was a couple of times I was just like, Mike, I have to stop. I have to stop. And he was just like, all right, man, let's stop. And he's got gun ho, and my knees are dying. Like,
you couldn't feel your freaking legs at one point?
Yeah, my legs were like just toasted. But then I want to say we took a little bit of a break. I got some snacks, and then we just trekked our way back to the truck, man. Mm-hmm. And it was just, we were just head down, just freaking marching.
Yeah.
So I totaled up the miles
of walking up and around.
The whole trip. Do you know what it is?
I think, wasn't it like 16 something miles?
One way.
One way it was 16 miles? Because my old tracker gave me 16 miles technically if I'm walking like step-wise.
So, yeah, but did you start yours at the truck?
Mine's always running, yeah.
Oh,
but that didn't count like sliding and freaking.
Yeah, so I opened up my Onyx and I did the track.
Yeah.
So I did the whole trail system that we did. Because
like
we went back
at one point, and then
we went back and forth a lot. We did a whole bunch of different stuff, and then for the sliding down parts when we were going down into that freaking crater lake.
Yeah.
I just kind of like, I did like a little point and then like a gap and then another little point and then a gap. But then we had to walk back up. So then I did all that, went over to the other lake and then back. But obviously I didn't do that next part.
Yeah.
It's 22 and a half miles.
Dang. Yeah, like what did we burn? Like on my watch, I think it said I burnt like 8,000 calories or something.
It was almost 16 miles in the snow.
I don't want to see snow. I don't want to trek in snow until next year.
Dude, you know how intense that is? Like we're not hikers.
No. Not like snow. I've never snowshoed. I don't like walking in snow.
So we didn't have the little snow cups for our sissy sticks. So every once in a while, those things are disappearing. Yeah. Obviously, Mike's disappeared completely and snapped in half, and so that was intense. So we've never really done that, and we weren't prepared for that. So if you are going out on a new adventure, a new hike, you're checking out, some high elevation areas, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
We could have did a little bit more research and maybe did some Google Earth things and actually turned it to the date from last year or something like that, and we probably would have saw snow.
Yeah, probably.
And would have been like, oh, okay, maybe this is probably not the right time to go, or we only go to this spot here and we check out this area instead of trying to
down low and go up there and come back down.
Yeah.
And
instead of going on our death hike.
Yeah, the death hike.
It wasn't 100 miles or 50 miles or anything like that, but man, almost 16 miles in the snow without being prepared for that.
Yeah, we straight up had our Crispies on and
yeah.
Dude, my feet were like freaking soaked just from sweating and freaking random snow going into them.
Yeah, so the main thing, we probably should have wore our gaiters.
I don't have gaiters.
There you go.
Because we always hunt like when we don't need them, so I'm like...
Exactly. So I think maybe even going into this high buck hunt, gaiters. Right now, we primarily wear Kuiu. It's just something that I landed on. I really, really like it, and it's super comfortable. And then Mike started hunting, and he was,
looking for good gear.
Right, and then I'm just like, dude, Kuiu is where it's at. So he landed on Kuiu as well.
And they vent better than other gear because they have all the zippy zips everywhere that you can.
Just really nice gear. They make gaiters. Right now they're on sale. They're like $29.
Oh, I should pick some up.
The short ones that I usually have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one of the longer ones, just so I have like dual sets, So I want to try those kind of like knee-high type ones just to see. But yeah, if I would have wore the gaiters, then I don't think my feet would have got as wet as they did, only because I was walking and my pants would come up, and then the snow would go into my boot.
See, I think mine were wet because my feet were just sweating from hiking. Because it wasn't like wet like it was soaked. It was more like I've been sweating.
So mine,
Because I didn't wear my merino wool socks. I wore my other ones.
And I did.
Yeah, see, I wore my other ones.
So my feet weren't super sweaty, but the outside, I've had my boots for a little bit longer than you, so I'm probably due for a new pair of boots.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're still working just fine, but I think some of that snow got into my boot, but my feet never got cold.
Yeah, like my feet weren't wet. Cold, they were just wet.
Oh, that was another reason. So we're actually coming back down the mountain, and I was like, dude, if we take these boots off and wake up in the morning, and there'd probably be 2 ice blocks.
Yeah, that would probably be frozen. That was another thing that we
so I was like, dude, we would have had to have waited for our boots to dry out, stick our feet into these cold, wet, nasty boots, and head down the mountain. Because at that point, you're not wanting to sit in glass in these wet, frozen-ass boots.
Yeah.
So that was like another. So we were just kind of like tipping off these things of like why we weren't going to stay on the mountain. But Mike was the only smart one who brought an extra pair of socks.
Yeah, I brought extra socks.
It was like I did not. I brought my puffy. I had like I think that was it. I brought my puffy and I had my 0 degree bag, and that was probably some of the weight more than you because you had my 20, right?
No, I had my 0 up there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
We need to compare. We need to load up these packs and actually get like a weight.
Yeah.
Maybe minus food, only because that one's a little bit harder to pack for. Only because right now we're possibly going to be out there for 4 or 5 days on a high buck hunt. It's kind of the only time we have during that time of year.
Yeah.
But Mike also might be missing out on the general season. He's actually heading to a F1 race, which is freaking awesome. Mm-hmm. That's going to be an awesome experience. I can't wait to hear about that. That's going to be really cool.
I'm going down to Austin.
I need to hit up one of those, man, because Dave and I, Sandana, the other host of the podcast, we went to Dallas for a NASCAR race.
Yeah, that would be cool.
On the track. It was insane. Coolest experience I've ever had, but I've been to Indy, NASCAR. It's time to
do the world racing game of Formula 1.
Yeah, Formula 1. I've been to drift.
Yeah. I've been to drift several times.
Yeah, drift is fun. We pretty much do that every other year or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think next year I want to try Toronto for Formula 1.
Oh, that'd be nice.
The Canadian Grand Prix would be good.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our excursion. We made it back to the truck in lickety-split time. It was like 2 hours. I think it was like 8 hours up and 2 hours down.
We got down real fast.
It was
going through the snow downhill is a little bit faster because you're more like stepping, sliding, so you're kind of like moon booting it down instead of doing little steps going up.
Trudging up, yeah. It always seems like no matter what on your way back, it's always usually a little bit faster. I don't know why, it just seems like that, but
we just followed footsteps.
Yeah, and beautiful area. And we were contemplating on the drive home, because the drive home was a little bit long, where it was like, man, we may never come back here. We may never be back, only because we didn't really know the boundaries. And when I get home and I'm like looking at it, I'm like, dude, we might not need to go in that far to be in this designated high buck area.
Yeah.
But we also want to be off trail, because where we were, there was a hikers everywhere. Yeah. So we want to be off trail, off the beaten path, out there. But on our hike, we found casings of rifle shots. So I mean, people are shooting pretty much off the trail too.
Saw a shotgun shell.
Yep, shotgun trail. I don't know what the heck there. Maybe there's grouse out there. Maybe, I don't know. I didn't see any grouse.
Slugging it. Slugging that bear out there. I don't know what they're doing.
But yeah, we will be back. We're gonna probably go out there a couple weekends during bear season, and test it out, see what happens. Mm-hmm. And then hopefully we can kind of use that bear season also as like a scouting for deer, because it's going to be right around the corner.
And a good thing for driving home, when you're tired and sleepy, Red Bull and McDonald's. That's what we got.
That's essential. We pulled over. It was like, dude, we need some food. We need some, energy or something, because like the body was just like cramping up and shutting down.
Yeah. And yeah, we were both getting sleepy, so we stopped at Safeway. I got a couple cases of Red Bull. We stopped at McDonald's.
Oh, man.
Got that 40-piece I freaking ate.
It was essential. Yes, straight garbage that we ate, but it was necessary.
Well, the meal that we had was like barely 700 calories. Those mountain meals are like 5-something, plus our snacks that we had were like 150 or 200 calories.
So when we go in, it might be Peaks refuel. Peaks usually has a higher calorie count and protein count. They are a little bit more expensive, but they do the job. And then we need to look into some type of LAR bar or something that's going to boost the calorie count up,
like that
we probably need to eat every couple hours, depending on if we get to the right area, we get into a good glassing spot, and then the day's kind of like settled down from there, right?
But we were freaking basically going the whole time.
Oh, it was nonstop. Actually, we didn't hardly stop at all. I mean, we stopped at one of the lakes to eat, and then we stopped
on a trail
periodically. Periodically to eat something, and then when we got to our last destination where we're going to set up camp, we were there for 7.5 minutes and headed right back down.
Yep, that's just going. When you only have like not even 1,000 calories and you burn 8,000, you're kind of
you're
wanting more.
The muscles were burning, but
my calves freaking hurt for like 4 days after that.
It was probably 2 days for me, but dude, it was like my Achilles tendon was
mine
tight.
Was just my calves the whole time. Like my hips hurt like the day after. My hips and like my hamstrings.
Yeah.
But then my calves hurt for like 3 or 4 days after. Like treading through snow sucks.
So we have 2 months to get our old butts in shape for this, and we are in shape, which I don't get. Like Mike's in the gym pretty much every day. I'm in the gym. We're not slouches in the gym. It's just you can't work out for what we did.
Yeah,
there's no workout out there that you can do that's going to prepare you for what happened. You have to do it.
Yeah, and you can't really like work out to simulate that, because you can put weights on your ankles, but when you do that for long periods of time, you damage your knee, you damage your tendons in your ankles, because it's constantly something's pushing down on it.
Yep.
So you might as well just do it for real.
Gotta go and do it. And we did, and we had a great time. I mean, we're here today to talk about it. There were some sketchy spots that we had to actually like hold on to each other to like get through.
We had a 2-man pull it. We each had one pole and we were holding on to a pole.
Yeah, it was some of the spots were pretty intense.
The buddy system we had to use a couple times.
Yeah. And it was a fun time, man. It was fun. Next time we'll actually be able to stay out there. Mike actually has not camped out of his backpack yet. There was a couple bear hunts that we were going to do that, but we ended up just camping out of the truck.
Because we got really high up on the truck, so it just might as well just camp here.
Yep, and to be honest with you, 20 steps out of the truck, we saw what we were looking for.
Yeah, it was just right around the bend when we saw it.
Yep. But yeah, that's it. That was our hiking excursion.
Mm-hmm.
But here soon, we're going to be testing out the rifles. Mike just purchased his first bolt action rifle.
Yeah.
Browning.
Yep, Browning, nice 270.
Yeah, nice common round.
Kill anything in the state.
Yep.
So.
And we're going to chrono that, get the data for the scope.
Yep.
Get it into an app, and start dialing out to further ranges.
Yeah. And when we do that, I have to zero my turrets too, because I haven't zeroed them yet, because I want to do it after we chrono it.
Yeah, not a big deal. We'll take care of that when we get out there, and I actually need to do the same. I picked up a new rifle this year, in 7mm PRC, and I need to do the same exact thing. So hopefully here soon we'll be able to go out and get that all done, and that will actually be here on YouTube as well. Sorry, it will not be a podcast because there'll be a lot of loud banging noises.
Booms and bangs.
That's right, because we're going to be sending those freedom seeds through the air.
You're going to be reaching out and touching the target. That's what we're going to be doing.
Yep. So my goal is to reach 500 plus yards. I will be happy with 400.
Yeah, I'm like between 300 and 400 I'll be happy with.
Right. So that's the goals for this year, and we're primarily bow hunters. So
this would be my first rifle hunt, because I've only hunted bow.
Right. Well, I mean, you went bear hunting with me.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, it wasn't my gun. It was yours. It was your 6.5 that I was using.
Yep. But yeah, we'll get everything all dialed in, and it'll be right here on YouTube. But if you listen to the podcast, if you want to see us firing our rifles, head over to our YouTube channel. It's Ridgeline Hunting on YouTube. And yeah, everybody. Anything else, Mike?
Not really.
Not really?
No.
Yep, nothing from me either. And I don't know, how should I exit this one? Expect the unexpected.
Always hate snow.
And that's it.